Missing tapes, another doomsday warning, and snow in the desert? Yeah, things have gotten pretty insane over the last few days. Of course, we have to start with this insane story about the missing tapes from the Charlie Kirk case, because this part is unbelievable.
After learning of this, I submitted a public records request to obtain any video of Tyler Robinson walking into the jail facility. Washington County responded saying there were no records responsive to the request, as Robinson did not go to the jail area. Our request for any holding room video was denied.
You heard that right. There's no footage of Tyler Robinson ever entering the police station with his parents. None. And the explanation they're giving for the missing footage is even more shocking.
A few weeks later, I re-upped the request on a more generalized scale for surveillance video showing Tyler Robinson walking into the sheriff's office. Our office does not have any applicable records responsive to this request.
Let me get this straight. We have a case that has divided the entire nation. Its every detail is being picked apart. Every second is being examined under a microscope, yet somehow the moment that could give everyone a clear picture, the moment Tyler supposedly walked in to surrender, wasn't saved. It means they basically have no way to prove the claims they made about Tyler's arrest. Nothing to back up the story they've been telling.
Because of the circumstance, he was driven to Utah County that night, about, I'm going to say maybe about 2 in the morning.
What time did he get here?
It was just before 9 p.m.
What did you do once he got here? Did you put him in handcuffs?
No. Made sure he had water, made him comfortable sitting on a couch in an interview room, and just sat on him until the lead investigators came in.
But honestly, this isn't shocking at all. From the very first day, I've said the evidence is often missing, or it simply doesn't match the official story. Their own records give very different timelines for Tyler's arrest. There's only one way to show when he was really arrested: the surveillance footage. And now that's gone too. So the question is, how in the world is the FBI so certain that Tyler really was arrested exactly 33 hours after the shooting?
And just last night, the suspect was taken into custody at 10 p.m. local time. In less than 36 hours, 33 to be precise, thanks to the full weight of the federal government and leading out with the partners here in the state of Utah and Governor Cox, the suspect was apprehended in a historic time period.
And you know, I'd like to say I'm surprised by this story, but I'm not. This whole thing has been full of holes from the start. And honestly, it feels like they don't even care if they get caught anymore. They're very good at distracting us from the important things. Very good at shifting the conversation. And I'm afraid that pretty soon people will stop asking the one question that actually matters. What the hell happened to Charlie Kirk? Now, moving on from this story, I want to talk about what's happening in Phoenix, Arizona, because things there have been just as wild. The city and the desert surrounding it got hit by a vicious hailstorm. There was so much ice that it looked like the roads were covered in snow.
Holy shit.
And on top of that, they were slammed with extreme rainfall. So much rain that it led to flash flooding across parts of the area.
Students had the day off at school because of flooding. Look at this. Guy 12 over flooded roads in Tonopah in the Far West Valley.
The search continues for a missing Cordes Lakes man who was swept away by floodwater. The 70-year-old man was last seen attempting to cross a road that runs across Big Buck Creek.
Unfortunately, they're saying this isn't over. It's supposed to continue all the way into the weekend. So don't be surprised if you start seeing even more videos of the desert covered in snow over the next few days. Yes, snow in the desert. That pretty much sums up how strange and wild the weather has been in this country this year. Another strange thing that's been happening in the last few days is the spike in activity from Russia's so-called doomsday buzzer. Most of you know what that is, but if you don't, this video explains it well.
Ever heard of the doomsday buzzer? Well, it just went off just minutes after Trump and Vlad got off the phone. Yeah, that conversation with the Big R yesterday. Well, if you didn't know, the doomsday buzzer, also known as UVB-76 or the buzzer, is a mysterious Big R shortwave radio station that broadcasts a constant monotonous buzzing sound. Every once in a while, when things are getting dicey, cryptic messages pop up on that radio wave. And that's what happened yesterday. And just for reference, this is what it sounds like.
Normally, this radio does one thing. It buzzes. Same sound, same pattern, every day. But this year, it's been different. Instead of the steady buzz, it's been sending out random words. Way more often than before.
Николай, Женя, Татьяна, Иван. Николай, Женя, Татьяна, Иван. 38 965.
And now it has gotten even stranger. It was caught broadcasting British pop music from the 80s. Yes, actual music from a signal that's supposed to buzz and do nothing else. And the timing couldn't be weirder. This is happening while tensions between Russia and the UK are rising.
As I speak, a Russian spy ship, the Yantar, is on the edge of UK waters north of Scotland, having entered the UK's wider waters over the last few weeks. This is a vessel designed for gathering intelligence and mapping our undersea cables. We deployed a Royal Navy frigate and RAF P-8 planes to monitor and track this vessel's every move, during which the Yantar directed lasers at our pilots. That Russian action is deeply dangerous, and this is the second time this year that this ship, the Yantar, has deployed to UK waters. So my message to Russia and to Putin is this. We see you, we know what you're doing, and if the Yantar travels south this week, we are ready.
And then came the biggest surprise. For the first time ever, the signal supposedly transmitted the name of an actual country. It has never done that before.
Well, it's a relic of the Cold War, but there are now fears Russia's so-called doomsday radio has been used to send a threat to a NATO country. Broadcast on Monday has gotten everyone worried. The Russian speaker included the name Latvia, one of NATO's Baltic states that borders Russia.
Meanwhile, mysterious drones keep showing up over sensitive sites across Europe. So what do you make of this? Are we watching the early signs of something bigger? Or is this just some creepy glitch scaring Russia's neighbors? And since I'm already asking for your opinion on things, I want to bring up something else. Why are we suddenly seeing so many videos of everyday products being contaminated? It feels like there's a new one every single day. I mean, just look at this.
Okay, so we picked up this gallon of water, this Crystal Geyser gallon of water at the local Dollar Tree. And there's a brown shadow inside the gallon, as you can see, and it's moving around. And it's still closed. We haven't opened the gallon yet. My gosh, it is at least, to say the least, disgusting. So my daughter gave me the idea to open it, pour it out, to probably have a better idea of what it is, but I don't think we'll even know what it is. I just know the Crystal Geyser people are doing something wrong in their process, their bottling process, that this got inside the water. Can I go? All right. Okay, let's pour it out. Ooh. Is it going? It is. It just passed through. Look, it did. Look. I thought it was gonna come out as a huge big blob, but it didn't. It just looks like what? I don't know. Fungus? I have no idea what it is. Definitely Crystal Geyser. Something wrong to adjust there.
Now, I've told you before that bottled water can get contaminated with microplastics. That happens because of how it's stored, how it's shipped. That part isn't new. But a fungus inside a sealed bottle? Well, that's too much. What happens if someone drinks this and becomes really sick? Who's responsible then? And how is something like this happening in a country where most people basically have to drink bottled water? But that's the reality of most of our products. Now, I want to end this video with an update on these stimulus checks, because the president once again confirmed what I've been telling you. And this part matters.
We're going to be doing a dividend to the people, low and middle income, moderate income people, of at least $2,000. In addition to that, we'll be paying down debt very substantially. It's the kind of money we're taking in. And really, countries that took advantage of us are no longer taking advantage of us. Friends, some of our friends treated us far worse than our enemies on trade anyway, and we've got that all straightened out. And everybody's happy. They respect us again. You know, it's like one of those things. I think they like us better, and they actually respect us, and it works out much better for us, too.
A lot of you do not trust our politicians to deliver, and I get it. I don't care who's in charge. I will call out BS when I see it. But from everything I'm seeing, this new dividend program looks serious, because they need it to get support for the upcoming midterms. That's why the only thing that could stop it is a Supreme Court ruling that kills the tariffs. And yes, that could happen.
The court's 3 liberal justices pressed Solicitor General John Sauer on whether the president's tariffs are infringing on Congress's authority to impose tariffs. And some of the court's conservative justices expressed skepticism as well, including Justice Neil Gorsuch.
Now, some of you say they should pay down the debt or lower taxes, and I agree. But let's be real. Congress is never going to let the president cut income taxes. They've shown that 100 times. So if we're not getting a tax break, we should at least get our money back, because we're the ones who pay most of these tariffs every time we buy groceries. Now, while I am not against tariff dividends, I'm still not a fan of this baby account plan.
One of the things that's going to happen next year is the Trump accounts. Every child who was born from January 1st for the next 3 years is going to get a government account that goes into the stock market. So every American child born for the next 3 years, starting January 1st, is going to have that. They can take it out when they're 18. They're going to learn the power of compounding, and there's going to be a lot of financial literacy around that. And I think the reason that we saw kind of the disastrous election in New York is young people don't feel like they have a stake in the economy, so we want to give them a stake in the economy.
It does not help parents with kids born before 2025. It also doesn't help people who aren't having babies in the next 4 years. And it definitely doesn't help our elderly or our veterans. And that's why I don't think this is the best way to use our tax dollars. But let me know what you guys think about all of this. Stay safe and keep questioning everything they tell you. This is the bone marrow hack that damn near makes those $50,000 stem cell injections obsolete. Your bone marrow is holding millions of stem cells hostage, but This powder sets them free. Right now, stem cells are trapped in your bones, doing nothing while you're falling apart. This genius doctor from Harvard discovered that cocoa flavanols are like a jailbreak for stem cells. They burst out like bees in a beehive into your bloodstream looking for damage to repair. Jacked up knees, they go there. Heart damage, they go there too. Brain fog? Yep, they cover that. Rich people are paying 50 grand to inject foreign stem cells, but this activates your own. No rejection, no trips to Mexico needed. And if you think I'm exaggerating, listen to this. Dr. Simon Mills, one of the top herbal medicine researchers in the world.
Dark chocolate is a medicine. End of. One of the best medicines around is 50 grams or 100 grams of 75% or more dark chocolate. Brain health as well, cardiovascular health. They do studies where they've put cocoa into volunteers, it means students usually, so young kids, and they were able to show changes in the blood flow within minutes, certainly within an hour of eating cocoa. Beneficial changes in your blood flow.
They call it the heart medicine.
Yeah, heart, circulation, brain, but it also, of course, we know it contains a few other beneficial stimulating effects, sort of similar to the effects with coffee, which incidentally, as I've already said, is a medicine as well. But cocoa and chocolate does have a uplifting effect, which is why we love it so.
That's right, dark chocolate. But here's where people get it wrong. The flavanols, the part that actually does anything, gets destroyed when chocolate is processed. So hot chocolate, that ain't gonna work. But Black Forest cocoa, flavanols and flavonoids, well, they take the finest cocoa and they extract the flavanols out of it into a 1200 milligram clinical dose. It's the first of its kind. Those flavanols are what activates your stem cells, made in the USA. There's chocolate, then there's ceremonial cacao, and then there's cocoa flavanols. The other two aren't even in the same league. This is the undisputed champ when it comes to cocoa powders, and it's not even close. I started putting this in my morning coffee because I read so many good things about it. I had no idea what it was gonna end up doing to my shoulder. Dude, my shoulder is as good as gold. I'm back to lifting my 10 reps at 225 again, and man, honestly, that really feels good. Starting to get older and everything hurts. Your stem cells need a wake-up call at 1/3 of the price of one copay. Don't be an idiot. I dropped the link here. Pick it up. Black Forest just went live with their biggest deal of the year. Buy one, get one free across the entire store. It ends in 48 hours, and once it's gone, it's gone. Cocoa prices have been skyrocketing worldwide over the last few months, so I don't expect prices to be this cheap ever again. So if you've been thinking about trying it, act now. Once 48 hours pass, this promo is going to be gone and prices will go up again. Stock up before it's gone forever. Take control of your health before someone else does it for you.